Hey everybody, Bryan again on a very cold Sunday afternoon. It's about 32 degrees. We just had our first snow of the season. Kind of came by surprise. They told us we'd have a little bit today and possibly tomorrow. Not sure how I feel about it. I'm not ready to let go of the remaining heat of our false fall, but so it goes. I'm back here at Buckner Park. I've been here a few times in the past. I want to get a quick video out today, and the reason is yesterday I tried to take video of a different location. Interesting walk, but the problem was, one, there's so much traffic that I felt it was bleeding a lot of noise into the video, and two, towards the end I inerrantly hit the stop button on the record and I didn't notice it right away, so I lost a lot of footage. So I figured, may as well just try again another time. So had some time today, and forgive me if I sound a little more distracted than normal. I'm pretty cold. Probably gonna start chattering here soon. I don't handle cold very well anymore. I may have talked about this in the past, but I've got leg disease stemming from a vein problem, and that causes my circulation to be terrible. So even in like August, September, I'll be sitting around the house with a jacket, maybe slippers on. If it's not at least 70 degrees, I'm going to be chilly, and I hate being chilled. So if you can suffer through that, I'll be happy to talk with you a bit about the league. Things have been going on. Interesting details have come out as it pertains to the CBA. And as we talked about last time, they extended it by a month. I'm not sure what that's going to mean. I don't think it's a good look for the league. And with the way things have been developing outside of the league, this may be true. Now, I don't know if you heard, but apparently there's a new league starting up next season, 2026. I believe it's going to be in the fall, so it doesn't interfere with the WNBA season. But it is a league that is apparently tied to the Saudis in one way or another, but also has private ownership here in the States called Project B. It's something I may have alluded to in the past. I know I would have liked to have seen a more Americanized league. Maybe I talked about Caitlin and LeBron putting their heads together for a league, possibly in combat to the WNBA. This seems to be a little different to it. And according to what I've been reading online, Nneka Oguwmike, I can never get her name right. Nneka, she, I believe she is the leader, so to speak, of the Players Association, representing the players across the WNBA. I guess she signed up for this league. Some were asking if that was a conflict of interest, and I don't believe it is. She can still play in the WNBA and take part in the secondary league during the WNBA's off season. There may be a little bit of a problem with that, because apparently they're going to be paying a lot more for players. So if she goes and she represents the players in the WNBA, what's stopping her from encouraging them? But we'll see how that goes. I keep getting distracted by the snow. Don't want it. Not yet. I'm going to try to get a little bit of a walk today. Probably won't be a very long video. One, it's cold. My hand is already cold. I'm wearing a... this is a side story, but I'm wearing a Minnesota Golden Gophers hoodie. And it's got the little gopher mascot holding a hockey jersey. Looks very retro. I think I got it at a Goodwill a few years back. This is before I started my love affair with Minnesota, and more specifically Minneapolis. So I'm very proud to wear it, even though I'm not really a legitimate fan. However, upon speaking with my wife about it, I had an epiphany. I am learning more about the role of school psychology through a school that I'm attending online. And of course, they are located in none other than Minneapolis. So this school does not have any sort of sports affiliation, no leagues that they're a part of. So I feel I should be able to choose a nearby school to support in their athletic endeavors. So I've chosen Minnesota, the University of Minnesota. So I wear this as an extended, expansive sort of fan affair. So I don't go to the school, but I do support them, by virtue of the school I do go to. So that's that. Yesterday I was wearing my Lynx jacket out in the cold. Feels great. Happy to have bought that jacket, just as I am happy to have this hoodie. So what else is going on in the league? Not a whole lot of other stuff. You know, it's hard for me to distinguish between what's news and what's just kind of made up blathering. There's a story that came up about Paige Beckers, how she was out of the league indefinitely because of the passing of her father. Now, I don't know if that's actually true or not. I would have thought that would have been at least evening news information, but I haven't heard anything about that. Is that true? Did she lose her father? If so, I'm saddened by the news. Hope she's doing okay. I'll tell you, just generally speaking, with the advent of AI technology, it's getting harder and harder to determine what's real and what's fake. AI is a great tool, I'll give it that, but man, in the wrong hands, that's devastating. That's kind of the world we're in now. I'm going to keep walking back here a bit. There was a path I wanted to go to, but I think I'm going to wait till the snow is deeper. And I've got all my winter gear on. So I like to explore what's back here in the woods. I know we're kind of surrounded by residential areas. I haven't gone back too far there. I think I'm going to save that for when the snow is really deep and I get some good stomping around. Yesterday when I was doing my walk, it just didn't turn out right. My hand was just freezing. I didn't have my tripod with me. I have it now, so I can kind of hide my hands in my sleeves. I couldn't yesterday, so by the time I was done, recording, my hand was like beet red. And it was warmer yesterday. It was about 40 something. It's about 32, 35 possibly right now. It's cold. And it's going to be this way tomorrow. And I'm sure if you're up there in Minnesota, you've probably already been experiencing this. I've been trying to keep up with the local news. Down here in Indiana, we don't really watch much during the dinner time hour. So what we do is we turn on the Roku and we get all those weird channels that they give for free. And I do get some news reports and some of the channels from different cities around the country. For a while we were watching Arizona stuff. That's fun. I like Arizona quite a bit. If I could live anywhere else, it'd probably be there. But I've been getting into watching the local Minnesota / Minneapolis feeds. And that's cool. I like seeing what's going on there. It's weird to feel like a reverse homesickness. I love Indiana. I love where I live. There have been times, though, when we've thought about leaving, but I don't think that's wise. I think with the way the country has been going, I think this state has been fairly free of the nonsense. And that's good. We're not terribly exciting. We're a great place to raise a family. But we are pretty insulated for things. Seems like the junk goes on all around us, but not really internally. And I'm not really poking fun at Michigan and Illinois. They're good neighbors, but I don't think I'd want to live there. I have family that lives up in Michigan, and they enjoy it. I like visiting. Grand Rapids is a cool city. I do like Michigan. It's a great place to unwind. Grand Rapids access to Lake Michigan is really good. I like their beaches. It's fun to kind of wander around up there. But I like Illinois minus Chicago, if that makes sense. And I've said before, I'm not really into Chicago sports. Used to be, thanks to my dad. But I just don't connect anymore. Never liked the Bulls. Used to love the Bears. About 40 years ago. Blackhawks, nah. Sky, no. I just don't think I care anymore. But where I live, it's nice to have access to the bigger cities. I just don't want to live there. And many times I kind of begrudgingly say that I want to visit. Because the places I really enjoy are kind of far away. That's how it goes sometimes. You keep your home close, and then your dream location's far away. Makes it interesting. You know, my wife and I visited Minneapolis twice this year. Once in June, and then once October. We loved it both times. I'm planning a return there, mainly to see the Lynx, but, and this will be something I might explore later on as I take this video series into the winter. I discovered the Minnesota frost. And I don't recall where I first realized that they were a team. I think it was in Minneapolis, and I think it was at either the Mall of America or the airport. There was a display for frost things and goings on and such. And I was captivated. I realized they were a professional women's hockey league, and I tried to get into hockey. And I call myself a Maple Leafs fan, but not really like diehard. It's hard to be diehard anymore. You know, my tastes tend to change with the weather. And what sticks right now is the Lynx. But with what I've been reading about the frost, I'm captivated. I started watching some videos on them and a little bit of their recent history. Championships aside, they seem like a good group of players to follow. Seem nice, likable. Great city. Sounds like a great franchise. The league is expanding. It's good for business. Seems reliable. Season starts in a week or so, something like that. Gives me something to watch between the WNBA and the thickness of college basketball. So I think I'll be a fan. I think I'll watch them to see how they do. I watched a little bit of their draft. Got to know some of the players that came in. So I'm getting familiar with names. So I think I'll probably watch it a bit, see how it goes, see how I like it versus the NHL. Right now, the NHL is kind of like a, well, if it's on, I'll watch it, but I won't make special effort in the way that I do the WNBA. I was watching the NFL today during lunch, and my team is the Dolphins. I'm not going to go back there. There's some folks back there. Turn back this way. Dolphins were playing Buffalo, and I figured, oh, it's another loss for Miami. No, last time I checked, they were still up late in the fourth quarter. It's good. I'm pleasantly surprised. But I ended up watching New England and Tampa Bay. Didn't really care about Chicago and New York. That's just mediocrity central there. So as I was watching the game, I was trying to keep track of when it became tedious to watch the game. And every year, I've grown less and less interested in professional football. I like college. I watch a lot more college. But professional, nah. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just the fatigue of having a team that I enjoy stink all the time. I don't know if it's just the time of year. I don't know. But I've been growing more disinterest in the NFL. And I thought maybe, the teams that are good every year, Kansas City, Buffalo, I've never liked them. Never. And they're good. They're going to be good as long as Mahomes and Allen remain quarterbacks for them. I never liked Baltimore. They're usually good. I've never liked Detroit. They've become good. That's after years and years of being, hot garbage. With the exception of Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, and such. But the teams I liked, Miami, they were always my favorite. Man, they haven't been good for, some of you who might be watching this may not even remember when that team was good. And it's been a long time. It really has. All they've got under their belt is a historic season, perfect season. Beyond that, nothing else. It's kind of like baseball. Grew up a Cubs fan. Loved the Cubs. Hated St. Louis. Didn't really care much for the Yankees. But over time, and in fact, I think it was right around 99 when McGuire and Sosa were having their big battle to see whose steroid use could produce the most home runs. And I think that was a really good thing for baseball. It sucks if you feel that was illegitimate due to the drug use. But it brought eyes to the sport. And after that, I kind of stopped watching. I like McGuire. I'm not sure what it was. I liked him, Canseco. Those are guys who were embroiled with the insinuation that they were using drugs, which turns out they were. But prior to that, it was a simple sport. And I liked it enough. But I think that whole scandal, drug scandal, steroid use, that pushed the sport into a different realm. And I think it benefited from that. Now, I like to think that the guys are not really heavy into that anymore. Perhaps they're just getting more sophisticated with how they hide it. But the way it is now, I'm not sure if I really care. I watched the World Series. I thought that was a good series, really good series, in fact. Rooted for Toronto. Came up short. Oh well. Got another 3,000 games to play next season to get it right. Which might be why I don't like it. Too many games. Don't like the NBA for a similar reason. Too many games. It's too easy for me to wake up one morning, go to work, come back home, and realize, oh, there's like 3 games I missed. Kind of sucks. It's, the nice thing about college football, every single game matters. My goodness. Used to be if you had one loss, you can kiss your championship dreams goodbye. Not so now. You kind of have that one loss insurance. Because they're expanding they're expanding that playoff tournament out to 12, and it may look to be 16 teams at some point. I mean, when's enough for that? I kind of like the idea of 4, but 12, yes. I think you're stretching who's really deserving of a championship when you take it out that far. But nevertheless, the regular season matters. That's what's important here. My team, Miami, they're sitting on 2 losses. Got a big win over Syracuse yesterday. But it's not like they're a powerhouse. I mean, if you're trying to get in that top 12, you gotta be playing really good teams. I don't know why the power conferences decide to play such junky teams. I know Syracuse is in the ACC, but they've had it down, basically decade or two. Whenever Donovan McNabb was the quarterback for them, what was that, 2001, 2002, something like that. Yeah, I could go without seeing Alabama play the Citadel. Holy cross, how about that? What a game. A game where the over-under is like 70 points, and you're expected to get like 60 of those. That's not a good game to watch. There's no point in that. I think across all the leagues, I just like what the WNBA does. It's the right number of games. It's the right length of a game. It's the right time of year. Summer's a great time for sports. Maybe that's why it connects with me. It's the right chemistry. I like the players. I like the concept of the league. The season, the duration of the season, when it takes place, the number of games. It just works. And I'd hate to lose that. But with everything else going on, I don't know what the future looks like. Project B seems to be a thing, as is the NBA Europe project. Now, the talks on that seem to be very, very scant. Not a whole lot of information out about it. But 2027, I believe, is we're going to bring that up. Somebody was saying that the NBA was getting tired of supporting the WNBA, feeding them money, I mean, I can't understand why. It's not as if the WNBA has been a perpetually profitless venture for nearly 30 years. And as much as I like the league, I can't deny that. I mean, that's an obvious fact. It's all there. You can find it online. And that gets me right back in the talks about what to do about the league, what to do about that CBA problem, what to do about the players, and keeping their expectations appropriate. I still think they're going above and beyond what they should be focusing on. But we'll see how it works. I know Nneka, she put a really good infographic out on her web page, specifically Facebook. That's where I found it myself. That describes what the ladies are looking for, how it impacts the league, its economics and everything, and what they're really, really looking for. And again, it just comes down to a bigger piece of the pie. And I'm fine with that. And I've said that before. Just don't go for the whole pie. Keep it realistic. It doesn't have to be that much. This is not the time to ask for too much or demand too much. You got to keep it in perspective. Believe it or not, still growing the league. It's been an underwhelming mediocrity up to this point. And I think they'd be well advised to be humble and not demand too much. But that's just my view. I've talked enough about that. So, kind of winding my way back to the parking lot. To kind of summarize, not a lot going on in the WNBA. I'm looking forward to the draft. The lottery picks, that's coming in a couple of weeks. And because of trades, appropriate trades being made, the Minnesota Lynx have like a 26% chance of getting that number one pick. I'm very excited for that, as you might understand. Dallas seems to be the odds-on favorite for that, followed by Seattle, Washington. Those two are close behind, and then you have Chicago and all their mediocre glory rounding out the top five. And then poor Connecticut, my goodness. The season they had, they're nowhere near getting a good lottery pick. Oh, that's terrible. I feel bad for them. Yeah, it should be interesting to see how that pans out. If Minnesota gets the number one pick, I'm gonna be bouncing off the walls. I'm not sure who they would go for. I would like it to be Lauren Betts. I like them to get more size. Because they've got some great point guards and shooting guards out there, role players, to have more power under that rim. If Issa can't do it all, Jessica puts up a really, really strong front. She tries her best, but we got to get someone dedicated. And I think she'd be really good for that. And if you think about it, if Betts goes to the Lynx, you know who could go to the Wings? Paige's girlfriend. I believe I mentioned that before. That could be a possibility. I wonder if that would work out. I don't know. But heading back to the car. I'm going to warm up, get my car some gas, maybe get a piece of cake down at the co-op. Have a nice remainder of my evening. And the same to you. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I believe this is episode 20. Thanks for watching, all 4 of you. Oh, look. There's the future home of the Fort Wayne Football Club. I am actually looking really excited towards the future of that. It's going to be great. I already looked at some of the other teams in the league that they're going to be a part of. I don't remember the name of the league itself, but they don't have a Minnesota team. I mean, I know I should just be rooting for my own home team, but I don't like their colors. How about that? There's a Charlotte, North Carolina team. I like Charlotte. That's a good little place. I've been in North Carolina a couple times. Always had a good time there. So I might be a Charlotte fan. Let me see how it goes. But they're still building. Hopefully by next year it'll be done. I like for them to have ladies flag football. I like to watch that. I don't want to see the guys do it. No. Oh, over there, the little building. Let me see if I can zoom in. I can't go any more than this for zoom in. There's a little tiny building, and last time I said that was going to be an ice cream shop, and I confirmed that it was. It's definitely going to be an ice cream shop, so I can, bike ride down here or something, get some ice cream, go to a game, head back home. Good day. It's good to be in Fort Wayne. All right. Have a good remainder of your day. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.